25 days left for the rest of your life. I hope that you are all greatly enjoying drafting fantasy football teams on Underdog Fantasy and elsewhere. Let's see if we can find the winning team today. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer. Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. I hope that you are all greatly enjoying your draft season. I know that I am. I'm having a great time. I believe that when my current level of slow drafts are done over on Underdog Fantasy, I will have crested well past 1,000 teams. I think there is a chance, if we include drafters, DraftKings, Fast Draft, all that stuff, I think there's a chance of me getting to 2,000 teams this year. Is there going to be a winner in one of those 2,000 teams? That really is left for the universe left to say. Certainly, I hope so. I feel like I've been drafting a lot of very good teams this year. It's been very interesting to see the ADP movement over the last several days. I mean, there are things happening in average draft position that would have never happened 3 years ago. I think the Packers stuff is really interesting right now. I've seen Matthew Golden go as high as like 62. I believe that, some of our friends out there in the industry, I know that my friend Easy at easydfs.xyz has Matthew Golden ranked really high in his stuff. I think that even our friends over at establishtheRun.com have capitulated to a very young rookie in Matthew Golden. We are drafting out of the 1.8 for this one. It's a nice slot to be in. Decent chance of us getting the services of Christian McCaffrey. Decent chance of us getting the services of Nico Collins, of Malik Neighbors. I am personally backing off a little bit of Puka Nacua. If you would like a recap of all of the preseason action, there is a 7-minute video on this channel that literally has every actionable thing from the preseason. Massive fantasy football takeaways from preseason, week 1. I think you're going to have a very hard time finding anything better than that. We are on the clock. I will select... Actually, you know what? On this one, I'm going to take Nico. I was doing an exposure check the other day, and I realized that I just have very little Nico Collins. Right now, through 813 teams, I have 5% of Nico Collins, and I have 9.1% of Malik Neighbors. So that was a nice little shift change over there. This guy behind me, Book It Boy, selected Devin Achane. I actually think that's fine. I think that Devin Achane is a totally defensible first-round pick at this point, and I would think you would have a very hard time arguing otherwise. Like, what is the argument? Devin Achane, realistically, I think he has a very similar range of outcomes to Jahmyr Gibbs and to Christian McCaffrey. He plays on a worse team. He has a worse offensive line. But if we're thinking of guys who can generate, 200 expected points rushing and 100 expected points receiving, super strong. I might even just take Derrick Henry here, just for the bit. You don't get Derrick Henry at 17 all that often. Let's see what Book It Boy does. You know what? I'll take Henry if he's available. If this guy does not take it, I'm going to. Bang. Derrick Henry. Pepper Tony, you say that I never take Derrick Henry. How about that? I selected him. Once Ashton Jeanty is off the board, I think it would be a bit nonsensical for someone like me who really only cares about upside, who really only cares about winning, to say, well, you can never take Derrick Henry over Drake London. You can never take Derrick Henry over Brock Bowers. You can never take Brian Thomas Jr. there. And I think certainly Derrick Henry is a better pick than A.J. Brown and Ladd McConkey. I don't even really think that is. I really don't think that's arguable. And that's coming from me. That's coming from someone who doesn't like to draft running backs. That's coming from someone who doesn't like to draft olds. So I think that you can roughly feel that is gospel. Alvin Kamara, another old that I like, by the way, the athlete on the thumbnail here. I have officially changed my strategy with thumbnails for these live drafts. They're just going to be repeatable. They're going to be done quickly. They're going to have the live stamp really large on it. Unclear if that'll be good or bad. I'll probably lose a little bit of, I don't know, probably lose a little bit of curiosity, but at least people will know exactly what they are clicking. When you click on when the thumbnail says 2025 live draft, there really is only so many things that it could possibly be. The Saquon Barkley drafter here does Tyreek Hill at 21. I officially have Tyreek Hill moved below that at this stage, and I think that it's getting hard to argue that Tyreek should be a second round pick. Obviously, he has the upside of a second round pick. Did not like that conversation about, Tua and Tyreek needing to repair their relationship. That was not great for me. I wasn't loving that. I don't know about you guys, but that for me was not perfect. All right, we are up. You know what? And we are going to do the stack. I don't believe I have any Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry teams in Best Ball Mania. If I have it, it's probably in like a puppy or a golden. So there we go. We've done it. We have Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry on the same team with Nico Collins as our wide receiver 1. Yes, I think that a great way to respond to how disgusting the third round has gotten. You don't really want to take JSN. You have legitimate concerns about Kyler. You have legitimate concerns about all these guys, Devontae Adams. I mean, sometimes I do what this guy to my right just did and take Xavier Worthy in the third round. Nice updated headshot for Xavier Worthy, by the way. But I think probably my biggest change in strategy from like this period of time for what we've been doing for most of the summer is that I'd moved Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts up in my ranks quite a bit because the opportunity cost has gone so much lower at this point. What are we going to do here? Mike Evans or George Pickens, either of them would be a good pick. Frankly, dang. All right, we'll take Mike Evans. Mike Evans, a very good wide receiver too. Very grown man squad we have going here with Nico Collins and Mike Evans. I'll tell you something that does not make a ton of sense to me in fantasy football right now. I never thought, maybe this is just me, I never thought James Cook was going to hold out. It didn't make any sense. There was never really any reality where it made sense for James Cook to hold out. Never really made much sense for the Buffalo Bills, who did a bunch of cap manipulation last year to free up things for their roster this year, to just go with Ty Johnson and Ray Davis. Not really what I would do. So why is the market going to snap him back into this range? Because my concerns with James Cook are the Bills have been reticent to play him really at any point. He's either been not playing on third downs or he hasn't been playing at the goal line. They've never used him in a full-time role. Now, just because they've never used him in a full-time role doesn't mean that they won't, right? That's something that I think that we've learned a lot in fantasy football recently is, guys like, Marvin Mims, right? Marvin Mims, pretty good example of this. Marvin Mims, they'll never play him in a full-time role. He only is a gadget guy. He only plays, he's a running back. He's a slot wide receiver. And then he comes out in the first preseason game and plays 16 of 19 snaps with Bo Nix. And like, okay, well, maybe that is what it is. And I think, who's kind of the best at diagnosing these things is Ben Gretsch. Ben Gretsch really has a good understanding of what types of players are likely to earn larger roles, what types of players are not likely to earn larger roles, what statistical thresholds get you there. So maybe I need to go read some stealing signals on James Cook, but I cannot really see him playing much of an expanded role. Gosh darn it. Zay Flowers is selected one pick before we get up here. So that is a bit annoying. And we are going to take Travis Hunter. Did give up a little bit of week 17 correlation. This draft overlay is the sidekick, which can be purchased at legendaryupside.com. fantasypoints.com. So through 5 rounds, we have Nico Collins, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Mike Evans, Travis Hunter. Wasn't that was the week 17 correlation last year, the Ravens and the Texans, right? That was the Netflix game where the Houston Texans scored 2 points. Am I remembering this correctly? The Netflix game was the week 17 game and the Texans scored 2 points and Anthony Miller came in that game. I think I absolutely am. Yes, January 20th, 2024. No. Was that 2 years ago? Definitely Matthew Golden over Jacoby Myers for me. We are up on the clock. I might take... Yeah, you know what? Let's take Igbuka here. Set up Baker. Well, do we want to set up Baker? Yeah, let's set up Baker. There might be a running back we like at 80. It's going to be really thin. Pick 80 is right about where it starts to get disgusting. You know, we're going to be kind of looking at like Jordan Addison, Josh Downs. I will not be taking Jaden Reed on this team. There we go. 31-2. Correct. This was the least sloppy start I've seen you draft in a while until Travis Hunter. Well, you know, frankly, I am trying to be a little bit more even-handed in my teams this year. You know, I'm looking at a lot of my exposures, and I feel pretty good about most of them. But I also do not want to have the feeling this year in week 5 that like, okay, well, Davis, you're just not going to win. The reason why I selected Igbuka over Golden there was for correlation reasons. Also, that's one where my exposures have maybe gotten a little bit out of control. I have Matthew Golden on 20.7% of my fantasy football teams this year. That is over 813 teams. So that is a lot of Matthew Golden. I have Emeka Igbuka on Underdog Fantasy on 14.9% of my teams. So I would like to close that gap a little bit. I've already covered this, looked it up. JJ McCarthy cannot win Rookie of the Year. It's not going to be the Donovan Mitchell ranking. Now, this is actually playing out pretty nice for this team because Rome goes, Debo goes, Diggs goes, then Myers, then Golden, then Judy, then Addison, then Laporta. So we are looking much more likely than I would have seemed to be able to get one of Pacheco, Kaleb Johnson, Tony Pollard, or David Montgomery as our second running back. I think one thing I might tweak in my rankings as we get through the rest of this is I might need to scooch David Montgomery ahead of Kaleb Johnson. Not actually because I like David Montgomery better than Kaleb Johnson, but just because that is how the market is going to treat it. And I don't want to get on too crazy of a position on Kaleb Johnson on a third round rookie running back for the Washington Commanders, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry. Jennings goes. I would have taken him. Montgomery goes. This is look, and Kaleb Johnson goes. So that was pretty frustrating there. I am going to select Aaron Jones, just going to go as old as possible at running back. So Aaron Jones and Derrick Henry are two 30-year-old running backs. What could possibly go wrong? The greatest possible strategy. Everyone knows running back is an old man's game. Tough. Man. I guess we are earmarking one pick probably for Rashad Bateman on this team. But weirdly on this team, you'd think when you select Derrick Henry, you'd be going pretty light on running back. But we might actually end up doing 7 running backs on this team because our 2 starting running backs are 900 years old, and we want to be left with some warm bodies when we get to the championship in week 17. Now, good point here. What if Aaron Jones and Derrick Henry are the 2 guys you need this year? Ever thought of that? Frankly, it honestly has not yet crossed my mind that they would be the guys you would need. Yes, I have been drafting the MMG tournament. I think I have 5 entries left, and then I will be maxed in that tournament. Now, the question I've got to ask myself is, what are the odds that I'm able to push Mark Andrews around? You know what? I'm just not even going to play. I'm just going to take him because he is an essential part of this team. This team is going to have no screenshot equity and honestly not great week 17 equity without him. I really like Mark Andrews, and I like Mark Andrews even more with Isaiah Likely banged up. This team does not actually, I know this seems insane, but this team actually doesn't really need Baker Mayfield. Someone else can have him. I can give Baker Mayfield to the Josh Allen team here. This is a bet on the Ravens over the Buccaneers. Like Evans and Igbuka, I think, are just good bets. I think actually, if you would like to put your Galaxy Brain hat on for a second, I sort of feel as if Mike Evans and Emeka Igbuka are a really interesting pairing because it's such a leveraged bet against Godwin. You are saying that Chris Godwin does not get healthy. You were saying that Chris Godwin will not be returning this season at full strength, and that the Buccaneers passing game really just revolves around these two guys, which is a bet that I don't want to be making overall, but it's a bet that I am comfortable making in a given team. You know, I've got some Godwin teams, of course. Like I think Godwin, where he goes, is a really interesting risk reward. Like a guy I would not be taking at all would be Darnell Mooney, because the risk reward you're getting on Mooney is like, okay, maybe you get Michael Penix's wide receiver too. Like maybe you get 1,000-yard season. But Chris Godwin, the risk reward is really there. Chris Godwin was the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy when he got hurt last season. So I think that the possibility that you're eating, 4 or 5 zeros from Chris Godwin is really balanced out by the fact that, he could be scoring 14.5 points per game. All right. And I think we actually left ourselves in a decent position here. One thing I could do is I could try and do Knicks and Mims. I could just take Shaheed. I think that's what I'm going to do. I am just going to take Rashid Shaheed. I got a need for more Shaheed. This one is set up for Stroud. This could be a Ward Iomanner, Ward Lockett one. What is the difference in situation between Emeka Egbuka and Jaden Higgins? Well, first off, I would say Egbuka is in a more provable, profitable fantasy offense. We have not seen the Houston Texans in this current iteration actually be a really awesome fantasy offense. In fact, they were a brutal fantasy offense last season. Egbuka was a first-round pick. Jaden Higgins was a second-round pick. I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play caller more than more than what I know about the Houston Texans play caller. I'm not saying that the Houston Texans play caller is going to be bad, but I'm saying that there's more unknown there. I feel like pretty strong. And I was not a huge Igbuka prospect guy, but he certainly was a better prospect than Jaden Higgins. Blue star guy, 5-star recruit out of high school, Ohio State's all-time leading receiver, both in terms of yards and raw receptions. The issue, to return to the Mooney thing, the issue with Ray McCloud, it's the same thing as the issue with De'Ami Brown. This is a player who is actively bad. De'Ami Brown Ray McCloud entered the NFL in 2018 and has 152 receptions in 7 seasons. All right. We are now in a difficult spot here. This is pretty bad. I'm going to do Kirk. I think. No, I'm going to do Bigsby. If I got it in. Did I get it in? There we go. Okay. So I don't actually really have Tank Bigsby ranked there anymore. I've got him ranked a little bit later. This is buying a little bit of the Toporino. Kirk, obviously, I think made sense in this build to add on to the Texans stuff to add on to Nico Collins. Also just made it more likely that I was able to get Stroud after cost, but I needed to balance it out with running back a little bit. I actually think this team could do Tank Bigsby and Byshell Tootin together, particularly because we're just looking for one win, I think, other than Derrick Henry. Like, I think you can think of Aaron Jones as a guy who's going to provide, eight startable weeks from Aaron Jones, probably, if he stays healthy for the entire season. That is a pretty big if. And I didn't love the way that the preseason is played out for Tank Bigsby, but after talking to Jacob Sanderson and Pat Carrane on Ship Chasing yesterday, I thought Jacob had some pretty good analysis of the situation, which is there actually is no way that the Jaguars run into the NFL season playing ETN in that role. So I think what they did was they highlighted the hierarchy of the running backs, which is ETN did get the veteran deference as the starter, but they don't necessarily, I think it is obvious that they do not view ETN as a workhorse style running back. Like, that would be nonsensical, and it wouldn't be logical in the way in which they've treated the running backs this year at all. Am I in love with Tank Bigsby? Do I think drafting Tank Bigsby in the 10th round at pick 113 overall is good? I don't really, but I definitely like him better than Scadaboo, who at this point, it pains me to say it, but I think Scadaboo could be the worst pick on the board right now. We are talking about a lower body injury on a day 3 running back, where he's in a backfield with Devin Singletary, who is just like, I mean, he's kind of just like the final form of Cam Scadaboo in terms of being like a reliable runner, nothing special, can catch the ball a little bit. Chad, I'm very sorry. I was ready to buy Scadaboo before he got injured, but the injury is really bad for Scadaboo. Now we could do Lawrence here. I'm trying to see if there's anyone I'm really going to feel sick passing up on. I mean, honestly, Tootin, I've got him ranked at 128. We are about to pick at 128 because I don't really care about the difference between Lawrence or Stroud. So let's take Tootin and do exactly what I just said. We'll do double Jacksonville Jaguars backfield. I can see this. I can see the concept that Scadaboo was just always okay. Well, Stroud goes, so now maybe I do care. Maybe this will be a situation where I should have selected the quarterback first and then taken whoever came back to me. I do just want to mention, looking at season-long median yardage totals is a really bad way to play Best Ball Mania fantasy football. I think that is really suboptimal. All right, look at this Kaleb Williams fall. I almost kind of want to take him, but we're going to take Trevor Lawrence. So we now have our quarterbacks done. Different bye weeks. Lamar Jackson by week 7, Trevor Lawrence by week 8. So we have Lawrence stacked with Tootin and Bigsby. Hopefully the running back 1 and 2 for the Jaguars, and Mr. Travis Hunter. It's unclear how bad the Scadaboo injury is, but he's only gotten 1 padded practice in. No, I am not quote unquote speaking from experience on season-long props, but I think it is just a terrible way to view the value of players in Best Ball Mania, because a median outcome for you across all of your picks in Best Ball Mania does not help you. If your entire roster is close to their median, you will not be, you won't be advancing. You won't have any ceiling in the playoff rounds. Like, it's just not, I suppose you could get some directional stuff, but the markets are not like, I would assume that the betting markets are going to have less information and less thought about what Tank Bigsby's potential role is for the Jaguars than a best ball nerd. Like, a lot of what these guys are wagering on is going to be information that you've already thought about 900 times. Someone who is really let me think of a different way to explain this. The job of a professional sports bettor and the job of someone who is trying to generate profit in best ball fantasy football, it's a conceptually different job, because what a professional sports gambler is trying to do is pick off as many small inefficiencies as possible. But picking off small inefficiencies as a best ball player doesn't do anything. Let's say, for example, 100 professional sports bettors all agree that Kyle Pitts' yardage total at your sports book of choice is off by 37 yards. 100 professional sports bettors have Kyle Pitts' seasonal projection at 424 yards. Underdog Fantasy posts his season-long total at 450, and they all take the lower on 450 yards. But what is not captured in that, as I'm about to take Jaden Blue here with this pick, is that these same professional sports bettors also might have, okay, well, I guess we're not going to take Jaden Blue. We're going to take Brenton Strange as our second tight end. So now we have two huge mega team stacks. Those same professional sports bettors might also have a distribution, and a lot of professional sports bettors don't even do this, where Kyle Pitts also hits 1,000 yards in a season way more often than Hunter Henry, Brenton Strange, Dalton Kincaid, David Njoku, or Tucker Kraft or whatever. But because the tails don't matter for that wager, they're just getting a good price on a number that they think is wrong. The range of outcomes for the professional sports bettor doesn't matter. So I would encourage you to at least be thinking about those things. So for Cam Scadaboo, because the tails are so large, including, there are seasons where Cam Scadaboo gets 0 rushing yards, right? Where he truly does not play. There are also seasons where he runs for 1,100 rushing yards. Man, a lot of value kind of getting just plucked out of this room. I suppose that I will just value hound here with Kyle Williams. Awoo! I don't really know why he is falling, but we were just able to secure the services of Kyle Williams at pick 161. That brings us to a team now of Lamar Jackson and Trevor Lawrence, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Tank Bigsby, Byshell Tootin, Nico Collins, Mike Evans, Travis Hunter, Emeka Egbuka, Rashid Shaheed, Kyle Williams, Mark Andrews, and Brenton Strange. I personally am not moving James Cook up with the news that he signed his contract. My feeling on the James Cook news is that I never expected him not to play for the Buffalo Bills. I never expected him not to play under a new contract with the Buffalo Bills. I did not have James Cook above market even with that prior, because I don't expect him to be a true full-time workhorse player, and I think a lot of the players behind him can be. I think that Chuba Hubbard is a full-time workhorse. I think that Breece Hall is better than James Cook, but I agree. Liam tweeted this the other day, and far be it from me to ever try and tell Liam he made a good point. But Liam's point is that James Cook can actually get away with playing 50% of the snaps because his team is actually good and the Jets are not good for as it pertains to Breece Hall. But Kenneth Walker, I think, will have a better workload than James Cook. Trevion Henderson, I just think, is better than James Cook. Honestly, if we knew that Alvin Kamara was going to stay healthy for 17 games, I would rather have Alvin Kamara than James Cook. Hot take, maybe. But I will probably make it a point to grab a little bit more James Cook moving forward. I'm not going to move him a ton in my rankings, though. All right, let's do... what do we do here? I guess let's take a running back. What running back do we want to take? Could do Dowdle, could do Roschon, could do Woody Marks. Woody Marks would be more team level stuff. No Charger I really want to take here. We don't really need a chaperone type. Yeah, let's just take Jerome Ford. He's the top of my ranking. Little bit of an ADP value there. All right, to return to the median projection stuff. If there was a running back who was 20% to score 700 points and scored 0 the rest of the time, you'd bet the under on 1 point for the season, but they'd be the number 1 overall best ball pick. Thank you, Peter. Thank you for explaining that distribution point better than I was able to. That is a great example. That's why you guys are smarter than me. Would you rather have mediocre Kamara for most of the season, but he gets traded CMC style, or Cook? I think Kamara is one of the most undervalued guys by the Slappy community. I really think that Kamara has like 80 reception, 9 touchdown ceiling stuff. Like, if they get some decent production out of Shuck, I think you guys will be really surprised by what you see. Let's just get DeAndre Hopkins out of the way now. I don't really want to take De'Ami Brown on this team. I've kind of already made my bed with the Jaguars. Assuming that Breece Hall's preseason huge holds the entire season with Braylon Allen playing some early downs and Isaiah Davis playing some third downs, where should he be going? I think that if that is actually the expectation for Breece Hall, which I would just be stunned by, I think he probably should be going in this range of James Conner, Kamara, and Harvey rather. But I can't believe that that's really their plan. Maybe it is, and maybe I'll be the dumb one. Unleash the Fury is stating that yesterday I drafted Cooper Kupp over Burden. Today, Kamara should be more appreciated by the Slappies. This is 2020 vision, Seal Talk. I'm certainly a Slappy, but I like to consider myself a Slappy that can at least appreciate certain veteran players and certain non-Slappy players. I mean, don't get me wrong. It absolutely pains me to ever select Cooper Kupp. But that team yesterday, and if you missed it yesterday, I got Cooper Kupp. I believe I selected Cooper Kupp at pick 110. Like, guys, Cooper Kupp at 110 is fine. Gosh darn it. Okay. I did really, really want to select Keaton Mitchell on this team. My galaxy brain thing is that Derrick Henry is going to smash for us at the beginning of the season, and that at the end of the season, it's going to be all Keaton Mitchell getting us there. So that was my plan. Didn't quite work out. We have a 2-5-7-2. I'm going to select Marshawn Lloyd as a bring back with this next pick. Did you guys get the quote yesterday? Here we go. Retakes practice field. There was a great quote going around yesterday about Marshawn Lloyd. It's not in his underdog blurb yet. All right, final pick. What are we thinking? Final pick. We have a 2-6-7-2. Our running back room is Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Tank Bigsby, Byshell Tootin, Jerome Ford, and Marshawn Lloyd. I'm going to put Monungai in the queue. I'm going to put Giddens in the queue. I'm going to put A.D. Mitchell in the queue. I'm going to put Torrey Horton. I'm going to put Isaac Tesla in the queue. A.D. Mitchell would be a bring back for us. Giddens would be a bring back for us. I'm not going to take De'Ami Brown. Well, it's Oh, yes. Well, first off, the reason why I'm autoing the drafters main is that I am absolutely running out of time. And I thought that I saved a custom set of rankings, but I did not. I'm going to do Adonai Mitchell as our bring back for the Jaguars stuff here. So yes, if you were in with me on drafters this morning, you probably saw me taking Joe Mixon and Darnell Mooney. I will the next time you see me autoing in the room, my rankings will be saved. And you guys, you will not, in fact, see me taking bad teams on drafters. All right, final team in Best Ball Mania: Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Tank Bigsby, Byshell Tootin, double Jaguars backfield there, Jerome Ford and Marshawn Lloyd, Nico Collins, Mike Evans, Travis Hunter, Emeka Egbuka, Rashid Shaheed, Kyle Williams, DeAndre Hopkins, Adonai Mitchell, Mark Andrews, and Brendan Strange. Okay, I have a Josh Allen, Burrow, Dak team out there. All right, sick. What if that's what you need on drafters.com? Let's hop back into another Best Ball Mania draft. I have 40 drafts left. Let's get working. All right, in this draft, we got the 1-7, so we're going to run back probably a very similar team to the last one, although this one will likely have the services of Christian McCaffrey. Any day you can take Christian McCaffrey, it's probably going to be a good day. I don't know about you guys. My concern levels on Christian McCaffrey are at absolute nil. Do you draft multiple teams at a time off stream? Brother, not only do I draft multiple teams, most of the time, if you see me in a room, I will be drafting probably 10 at a time.
The Davis Matic YouTube channel is made possible by viewers like you. Every subscriber, memby, and super chat goes to ensuring Davis doesn't have to work at State Farm. Thank you.
Yes, picks 5 to 7 now are really nice with Puka and Ginty, really strong. I am on a good pace. The issue with this pace is that next week will be DraftKings Best Ball week, so there will be no BBMs next week. I think I'm only in like 25 or 30 slow eliminators sack. I've noticed that you and I are back to back in a good number of the slow eliminators. I've been trying to do some eliminators fast. People always end up screenshotting my teams and saying that they're terrible, though. So maybe I'm doing something directionally wrong there. Bang. Christian McCaffrey at the 1.7. All right. Let's let this be the I am sure that people are terrible at drafting the eliminator. I mean, I'm sure I probably have some really bad eliminators out there. Don't get me wrong. Love the concept of the contest. I also think the eliminator is going to be fantastic in-season content. Imagine the content when me and Sacrilegious are sitting there and we are against each other in week 8. So I actually do not do custom ranks for the eliminator because I want to what's the right way to say this? I want to be water a little bit more in the eliminator. I want to be a little bit less wed to player takes in the eliminator, and I just want to have as many Gosh, I mean, it would be so nice to have a team live in like week 8 of the Eliminator. Yes, when we run into each other in the Eliminator, we should do a head-to-head sweat stream. We should. All right, let's do... Oh, man. How about that? A little CMC Bauer start for the boys here. That I love to see it. Oh, Chase Brown at 19 here. Justin Jefferson, Chase Brown. Xbin 33 is drafting off of my rankings from last year. I mean, wow. Someone is going to be getting a gift here with AJ Brown. Josh Jacobs goes at 20. CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown. Wow. Kyron goes at 21. It is officially get your guys season on underdogfantasy.com. And I'm not complaining about it at all. I think I think it is a great, honestly, even for nerds, like even for people who are as sweaty as us around here. Wow. CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, Lad McConkey. It's going nuts. I love this stuff. It's so nice that every draft is not the same now. Not sure if you guys saw this, but pretty bullish here for Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers shaved his head. He said, "I'm done. I'm sick of it. I am now ready to go full skeleton crew." Incredible stuff. Crazy comment here. Raheem Mostert is my highest drafted player. What kind of slappy are you? Sir, you are effectively... Oh, is it AI? Did I get got? Let me do some research. I'm doing a little bit of research here to see if this is true. I think it is true. That's not AI. Based on my research. Wow. Oh, man. Oh, I really wanted T. Higgins here. I did Lamar in the last one. I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to take Garrett Wilson. I don't want to do 2 back-to-back Lamar teams. Guys, I don't think that is, I don't think that's AI. I believe that it's real. Yeah, a bunch of Raiders teams are posting this. Did I get got? Okay, let me go to Brock Bowers' Instagram. Oh, did I get Adam Scheffler again? Brock Bowers' Instagram. I mean, he has not posted. Brock Bowers' most recent post where you can see his hair was 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I was gonna say if it's real, it is like yesterday, but I think it's true, man. I don't know. Let me see. We've got. I think it happened, man. I don't think he would never originate. Dove Kleiman would never originate anything. Raiders posts is the first person I saw do this. I don't know. All right, photoshopped according to Grok. All right, well there you go. We got doved. Let's move on. Happens to the best of us. All right, now I'm just going to easily take Xavier Worthy here. Almost took Xavier Worthy with the last pick. If Mostert was on the slappy graph, he would be so far right wing. Raheem Mostert is so far to the right. I did get bamboozled. I did get bamboozled. Sad. What sort of production do you expect from your 5th, 6th round wide receivers? Well, it's more about, so I think in this specific example that you're asking about, you're thinking about what would I need to win $2 million in Best Ball Mania? Like, you do need, multiple of your 5th, 6th, 7th round picks to like super mega smash. So Karain saying that 1,200 yards wouldn't be enough is like, yes, in the sense of needing to absolutely smash is probably correct. All right, we got Scheffler. All right, let's take Xavier Worthy here. Has to be among the most frequent phrases on this channel. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Twitter, not that Twitter ever used to be a good website, but now that anyone can have the verification thing, it's just insane how much nonsense you have to wade through on that platform to ever get to any kind of truth. But I took Waddle, I took I took Hunter on the last one. So let's do... Actually, you know what? Let's give old Cortland Sutton a run. Oh, 6-pick ADP value on Sutton. McCaffrey, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy. Cortland Sutton, Brock Bowers here. Sutton and Worthy. A little bit of week 17 correlation. Yeah, Twitter is dead internet. Like 75% of the activity is bots. It's very true. Favorite workout? Bench press, brother. How much Mims do you have? I've got to have a decent amount. Marvin Mims. I've selected, actually not as much as I thought. 5.9% of Marvin Mims. So I'm a fake slap. It's not the blue check mark itself that is important. It is knowing that an account that is verified, as in a real identity attached to a real person, is the one doing the news. If anyone can have a blue check, then any account can just say anything. No, the Marvin Mims haters are going to be wrong. The Marvin Mims haters are going to have to eat it in the end. Marvin Mims as a full-time wide receiver on the Denver Broncos is going to be, he's going to have 900 yards and he is going to score 5 touchdowns. All right, let's do, I think I'm going to take Pacheco on this one. This is a little bit of a drop on a lot. Well, not really. Yeah, I'm going to take Pacheco. Why don't you just take Hunter? The whole, I took him last time thing doesn't make sense to me. It's a different team entirely. Why not just take the best plays? Well, let me tell you a story, Austin. Last year, I drafted about 1,000 fantasy football teams. They were all effectively the same team. I advanced 7.8% of my teams in Best Ball Mania 5. I believe that is 11 total teams. I think one of those teams made it to the semifinal. Maybe 2 got to the semifinal. I honestly don't remember. None of those teams advanced to the finals. I had about $12,000 in entry fees. I think I got $2,000 back in total in entry fees. So just torched a Mazda Miata think the short answer here would be yes. If you were drafting 1,000 teams, you need to have some humility. I don't think Liam and I are going to be doing our show this week because Liam's only available day is tomorrow. I'm doing a big dog stream tomorrow with Dave from ETR, and then we have Ship Chasing. So I don't think the Liam and Davis show is happening this week because Chess Liam is back at chess school. One more pick here. Man, I actually am going to take Jacoby Myers instead of Kaleb Johnson if he's there. Bang, Jacoby Myers. Double Raiders. Now, this Kaleb Johnson fall, what is this Kaleb Johnson fall? Is the Kaleb Johnson fall just because he had bad runs in the preseason? Is it because Kenny Gainwell played? I mean, maybe you could say that potentially there is a little bit of he was a little bit overvalued, but the Kaleb Johnson argument is the same as it was to begin with. It's that Jaylen Warren is not a full-time player. There's been many opportunities for Jaylen Warren to be a full-time player in the National Football League. He hasn't been. Jaylen Warren also gets injured all the time, which is something that I haven't seen very many people state. But Kaleb Johnson is a really good player, man. I think the idea that Jaylen Warren is a starting running back in the NFL is a bit silly. Like where is the evidence that Jaylen Warren is viewed even by the Steelers as didn't they if I'm remembering correctly, they kind of dicked him around with his contract. Jaylen Warren has been in the National Football League since 2022. He has generated 346 rushing attempts. You know, that's to me does not always seem like the type of guy who is going to end up super boosting his play as he ages. I mean, I could be wrong. All right. Wow. It's 2020. It's 2024 all over again. I do draft a decent amount of Jaylen Warren. Don't get me wrong. Jaylen Warren has his time and his place. I have 12.7% of Jaylen Warren, but I mean, it's kind of silly to think that Jaylen Warren is something other than what he is. Through 8 rounds, Christian McCaffrey is our running back 1, Brock Bowers at pick 18, wide receivers, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy, Cortland Sutton, and Jacoby Myers. Tossed in Isaiah Pacheco there at 66, and get Mahomes at pick 90 for the double Chiefs stack. I just feel like the Judkins Kaleb debates from earlier in the offseason, the answer will end up being both are wrong. Yeah, I mean, let me tell you guys a little secret about fantasy football. Let me tell you how this goes. If you are in the position of either being someone who does YouTube shows, or honestly just anyone in fantasy football, here is the easiest position to take. Someone says, I like this player. I like Joe Mixon. I like Jaylen Warren. I like Keon. You say that player's going to suck. Guess what? You're going to be right. Most players in fantasy football suck. Most players get hurt. Most players underperform. Most players don't score enough touchdowns. Most players don't get enough receptions. There are so few guys who matter in fantasy football. And what do we want to do here? I kind of like the Fields Mahomes thing. No, I can't do it. I'm going to take Mark Andrews. That'll be a really rare. I think they have the same bye week. Oh, No, they don't. Okay, week 7. There we go. So if you just say everyone sucks, if you just say, dude, I can't imagine taking Jaden Higgins there. He sucks. Dude, Marvin Harrison, he didn't break out last year. Marvin Harrison stinks. Jaden Daniels, no way he'll do it last year. The reason why I changed my mind there, I didn't have time to verbalize it because I needed to think. The reason why I did not take Justin Fields there was because I have 2 Raiders players, and for this team to succeed, I really need to take Geno Smith. My Golden exposure, really high. Matthew Golden right now. I've selected Matthew Golden on 20.7% of my teams. I don't hate quarterbacks in the window, but for this team, it did not make much sense to take Justin Fields because I made a bet on Bowers and I made a bet on Myers. I'm going to project better in week 17. I'm almost certain that my week 17 stuff is going to look better. Like if you ran like a simulation or something with Geno Smith on this team. And when you have Myers and Geno, it's you're more likely to get him. Someone's much less likely to snap him off from you. How many players do you have over 10%? You should have a decent amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, I got at least 40, 50. I have a lot of players over 10%. Oh, man. Oh, here we go. Bring back season, dude. Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims, the greatest wide receiver in fantasy football. Don't you know Marvin Mims is playing on the perimeter? I am certain you have not seen any hype about the rookie backup for the Raiders. I am positive that this is a lie. This is the most just making up things that you read on the internet. No chance. How many over 20%? How many over 20%? These are the players I have drafted over 20%. Isaac Urendo, Amarian Hampton, Matthew Golden. That's it. That's it. 20%. Dude, just don't ask what Mims' yards per route run are outside. Cam Miller, who actually is sick. I would love if Cam Miller became a thing, but he is not playing year 1. I have not looked at my Jacquard tree yet, Zach. Can we? I honestly, I would love to do it. Zach, can you do it for me? No one over 30, and I will not have anyone over 30 this year. No chance, no shot in hell, and I don't want to have anyone over 30. All right, need a running back. I did Bigsby last time. Let's do Samson this time. Yes, I will. Here, let me request it real quick, and I will send it over to you. Drafts completed. Email exposure CSV should land in your inbox shortly. I'm very curious. I have to have an all world. You can check your Jacquard tree on legendaryupside.com. Little free advertisement for my friends over there at legendaryupside.com. I'm going to send Sacrilegious my Jacquard tree right now. Here. Sack now has all 837 of my completed drafts. Cam Miller, the only pick Brady had to give input for the Raiders to draft. You not know about Tommy Mellott? Around here, we root for Montana State. We don't give a shit about South Dakota State University here. Around here, we are Montana State Bobcats boys. Tommy Mellott over Cam Miller for a laugh. My only player over 20% is Anthony Richardson. I don't know, man. Bryson has 32% Bigsby and Tootin. You might be a slappy. Over 30% Tootin, slappy. My only over 20% is Darius Slayton, Josh Palmer, and Jalen Hurts. That is preposterous. Is he from Montana or Alabama? I don't know. Man, what do we do here? All right, I'll take Braylon Allen. I'll bite. Sure. I'll buy the top on Braylon Allen there. Why did I do a Southern accent for the Dakotas? I don't know. Yes, Tommy Mellott converted to wide receiver because he's like a 9.9 RAS guy. But I still think Tommy Mellott is a better quarterback than Cam Miller. And I bet ultimately Cam Miller is going to switch positions too, because he also is a really high RAS guy. Buck has never worried about, oh man, you guys are about to see something incredible. Let me make sure this link works. All right, this is my Jacquard tree this year. Look at that. 82%. Look at that freaking pick diversity, guys. I mean, I might be the best to have ever diversified. 82 percentile. Come on, man. Come on. That's how it's done, folks. Compare that to the Jacquard tree. Yeah, I need to overlap it with last year. That tree is basically showing how different my teams are from one another. I promise you I won't. Honestly, I promise you I am not going to regret it. Worried about my late round? Yeah, I guess picks. I guess what this means is I do tend to take a lot of the same picks 13 through 18, guys. HRDEI levels of diversity. All right. Yeah, bang. And we will select Geno Smith here. I frankly, I'm not diversifying just because I am diversifying for a very clear reason, which is that I think, frankly, this is my opinion. I think that ultimately the best ball players are probably the people who are better at constructing teams versus people who are better at picking the league-winning players. That is my guess. My guess is over a long enough time frame, that is true. I mean, Greg, straight up, I can't. I cannot survive another year like last year. Do you hate people who ride BMX when you're trying to skate? Honestly, no. Honestly, not. I'm happy to see some biker bros out there. Algier is good here. I do need, you know what? Actually, this is a Wandale team. Dyson Darts. Sack, I don't think this is true. I don't think you have to be subscribed to Legendary Upside for the tree. I don't know that though. No, Josh, man. I wish I don't think I took any ETN or any Dalton Kincaid last year at all. I think those are what ruined me last year was I think combined I did about 1,000 teams. I probably selected Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and Alvin Kamara combined like 11 times on 1,000 teams. The thing about team construction, though, is you could still have a bad as year as last year, even with I could not. It's actually impossible. They're like mathematically. Well, of course, anything is possible. Of course, anything can happen in a given pod, but it would be like last year. I did not run bad. Last year, I got what was coming to me in terms of the distributions of my teams. Like when you have such a huge overlay of the same types of players, you are more likely to advance more of your teams, but you're also much more likely to advance less of your teams. To advance 7% of your teams while having a strong diversification would be insane. It would be like you wouldn't believe. I'm taking Keaton Mitchell. No Henry, Keaton Mitchell. Now, also good points here. 50-50 chance you either do as bad as last year, it either happens or it doesn't. Net returns, minus 97%. I don't know. I honestly, I have no idea how much money I got back last year. Do you ever think this year when not picking Henry, Saquon, or Kamara? Yes, although I do legitimately take Kamara a lot on Underdog. Not as much of Henry or Barkley. I have 7.3% Kamara. I have 2.5% Derrick Henry. And I have 8.1% of Saquon Barkley. Now, another key point here. You can never get owned if you never accept defeat. Gosh, I hope so, man. True. Yeah, I also got owned in playoff best ball. What do you do if you win 2 million? Buy new golf clubs, hire a video editor. Let's do Isaac Tesla. He's like my favorite 18th round pick right now. That's probably it. Oh, hire a thumbnail guy too. Yeah. Thumbnail guy, golf clubs, video editor. If Henry steamrolls me again, then shout out to him. How can you have 2.5% of the big dog and call yourself an 8.3%, bro? Well, the thing is I draft off my rankings, right? Yes, playoff best ball, I did legitimately just run bad. Playoff best ball, my highest exposure players, my top 7 highest exposure players were all Eagles and Chiefs. My thumbnails they're fine, but they're not good. My thumbnails are I think someone could call it's not enough to keep someone from not clicking on one of my videos, but my thumbnails are not good enough that someone would click on them on purpose. What's the plan for the mustache? Well, I haven't shaved it in like 2 weeks, and my wife hates it. All right, we are up in 1 pick here. I really don't want to take Besh on this team. Let's do one more running back. Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker is currently my favorite late round running back click. So Running backs, McCaffrey, Pacheco, Sampson, Braylon, Keaton, Missile, Sean Tucker. Wide receivers, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy, Cortland Sutton, Jacoby Myers, Marvin Mims, Wan'Dale Robinson, Isaac Tesla. I don't really know what I want to do. No, ChatGPT is basically the dumbest. I wish people understood how bad ChatGPT was when you are trying to be good at something. It's ChatGPT is really good at doing the 90th percentile dumbest thing imaginable. But they're so bad. All right, final pick here. I mean, I guess I could just take Besh on this team. He's still sitting there. Maybe Jalen Royals. Royals I don't hate. Oh, he went. I might just take Coker. Coker I like. No, Liam is busy right now. Liam's at chess school today. And today's my... Yeah, I am just going to take Coker. I know Sidekick is yelling at me to take Besh, but I'm taking Coker. We were a little bit behind at wide receiver. I mean, this team is going to go... This team is going to go as McCaffrey goes. In your heart of hearts, who are the top three guys you think they need to win this year? Christian McCaffrey, Xavier Worthy, and Keaton Mitchell. That's my heart of hearts. Yeah, I honestly, it's already kind of hurting my brain. If you guys don't know, on Peter's channel today, we are doing the randomizer where I'm going to be Peter doing Davis as Davis, and Peter is going to be me. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but all right, let's recap this team. Did we draft a good team? Patrick Mahomes and Geno Smith, Christian McCaffrey, Isaiah Pacheco, Dylan Sampson, Braylon Allen, Keaton Missile, Sean Tucker. That's a pretty freaking good running back room, honestly. Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy, Cortland Sutton, Jacoby Myers, Marvin Mims, Wan'Dale Robinson, Isaac Tesla, Jalen Coker, Brock Bowers, and Mark Andrews. All right. How many do we have left? We have 39 Best Ball Mania drafts left. I mean, the best week 17 game is clearly Detroit, Minnesota. Yeah, my throat is it's not gonna be great. Oh, Purple Yosh, brother. Oh, wow. And an Influencer 101 here. Can we get the multiverse Davis Maddock Heart of Hearts now? I don't know, man. Christian Watson is not returning week 5. This is crazy, man. If that ends up happening, then I'm just never going to care about an injury ever again. What is the point? The most injury-prone wide receiver in the NFL tears his ACL in frickin' week 18. Yes, I have conjured up my truth serum take. I have already submitted it. So Pete is obviously doing... Pete is obviously doing the Truth Serum video again this year, and I've already recorded and sent mine in. Posted this on Twitter yesterday. Jamar Chase, bada bing. Posted this on Twitter yesterday, but I'm a zero tools kind of drafter. Do you think the draft tools get beat when you inevitably need a combo they would never produce? No, but I would just say the reason why a non-tools drafter is... A non-tools drafter is so much more likely to win than a tools drafter because there are multitudes more of non-tools drafters. Like the amount of users using the Sidekick or the Solver or the Draft Caddy is so low compared to the number of people using the tools. Frankly, I think most market participants would be fine without using the tools. I like to use them, but there are plenty of reasons not to. You know, I think you should just do whatever you want. If you like the tools, you should use them. If you don't use them, you shouldn't. What if doing both? I mean, I do both. I would say I certainly do more of my drafts without the tools, right? Because I draft so many on my phone. Yeah, the number is lower, but the amount of drafts they account for is a different story. I mean, I tell you, something that I personally love is I would say the number one use of the draft tools for me is slow drafts. That I'm just able to knock out so many slow drafts. I mean, I assume this is like an Apple problem that you can't do it on the phone, but it would be cool to be able to do them on the phone. Don't get me wrong. All right, I'm just going to do the stone chalk here on the turn. I don't know, maybe we get Jonathan Taylor. You never know. Jonathan Taylor goes. Need someone to get squirrely to do fun. Oh man, no dinger teams live, and my solo shot is going to be dusted. Wow, someone got freaking McCaffrey Jeanty. Goodness freaking gracious, man. All right, here's one. Josh Jacobs. And I'm gonna take Kyron too. How about that? Live long enough to see yourself become the boomer. Well, bad news. I do use ChatGPT, Dave, so you're probably gonna unsubscribe, but I don't use it the way that most people use it. I use it for work. But I don't use it to make things for me. I have 3 CMC Genti BBM teams, brother. That is insane. What are you talking about? How do you have that many? That's nuts. Where's the guy who thinks the BBM? Yeah, where's Eggers? Where is Eggers? Where's the guy who thinks the BBM winner has already been drafted? Are you taking Kaleb? I am still taking some Kaleb Johnson. Yeah, basically, I'll say this. This is what I use ChatGPT for. It's really good at organizing my notes for me. So when I am making a new video, when I'm making a new fantasy football video, I can put a lot of my notes that I take in it, or I can put some of my spreadsheets in, and it will organize it for me in like a linear fashion, so that I can just read, like basically like it'll set up like a teleprompter for me. I got a Puka Nico earlier. There you go. So some of the CMC Genti teams are earlier when it was in the reverse. That makes sense, I guess, for it to have been done in the reverse. You know what's funny about the backup running backs being drafted higher is DJ Giddens is also still falling. Like, why would DJ Giddens be falling? He's the clear running back 2 for the Indianapolis Colts. Saquon Genti. Got a Gibbs Neighbors. Gibbs Neighbors is crazy. No, I never. What would I can't think of the logic of taking a backup quarterback, but what is the best case scenario you're hoping for? This is crazy stuff, dude. Chase Brock. Do you think if you get a crazy start like CMC Genti, draft as you normally would? No, I would just draft as normal. Although one thing you will notice doing a ton of drafts is that ADP values beget ADP values, because it normally means that someone or multiple teams in your contest are drafting silly. Goodson is definitely not in front of DJ Giddens. Tyler Goodson absolutely stinks ass. Tyler Goodson's one of the worst running backs I've seen in the NFL. All right. Dang, Breece Hall just living on this left side of the board now. All right, we're going to select DJ Moore here. I kind of just want to take Trevion Henderson. Hunter, Waddle, Flowers. We'll do Ridley actually. Nope, I'm doing it. Boomer ball, dude. Trevion Henderson. I have Jamar Chase. I already win at wide receiver. It's an over. Honestly, I didn't really watch Giddens. I wouldn't have assumed. It's crazy to react to preseason stuff like that. Giddens did not whip the pass pro that broke Anthony Richardson's finger. Anthony Richardson whipped that pass pro. Day one install. Day one install stuff there for Anthony Richardson. Yeah, I have Trevion and Kenneth Walker ranked back to back. What is your guys' opinion on this Kenneth Walker foot injury? Is that real? Is that false? Is that fake news? Is it he's trying to get paid? He's a veteran who doesn't want to practice, or is it a real foot injury? Because if this Kenneth Walker foot injury is real, then Zach Charbonnet should be like really high priority. I have not made a big adjustment in my ranking yet. Foot injuries are insanely scary. Turns out NFL players need their feet. They are very reliant on their feet. I am happy to take Breece Hall at 46. That is a Dipperino slurp for me. If you wanted to move James Cook ahead of Breece Hall, I wouldn't have too much argument with you. But yeah, I consider that to be real Dipperino slurping territory. I mean, I wouldn't say Sharps was not a priority. Sharps kind of fits that mold though of being the most expensive running back too. Well, good thing I'm going to get a chance to get Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow goes at pick 62 to the Brian Thomas, Mike Evans, Tedroy McMillan drafter. I mean, I assume Daniel Jones is going to start week 1 for Indianapolis. It's hard to say, though. Zay Flowers at pick 65. What on earth? Matthew Golden at 67. It's so over, dude. All right, well, I'm not going to get Burrow, so I need to start. Well, Caleb Johnson goes. This is a bit of a weird one. I need to start thinking about my plan at quarterback here. I definitely have more than 10% of Pearsall. Yeah, I think this guy on the right, he just has to be auto drafting, which is his God-given right, as it was my God-given right to do on drafters this morning. All right, I guess we are taking Deebo Samuel. And we're also going to take Jacoby Myers over Pollard. I couldn't bring myself to do a fourth running back there. man. Okay. So Jamar Chase, Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, DJ Moore, Trevion Henderson, Deebo Samuel. I only have Geno and Kaleb live for pass catcher stuff. So this is probably going to end up being a 3 quarterback team. Sometimes it is a Jacoby Myers kind of day. Yeah, May Henderson works, I suppose. This is just a bit of a weird one. Feels like, I mean, I guess you also, as we get closer to the season, you're just going to get more and more weird drafts because more and more people are drafting fantasy football teams. More and more people are getting onboarded every day, dude. More and more people are showing up. They're logging on. They're using promo code Davis. I think I kind of flip Kyron and Hampton. I have them literally ranked back to back positionally. So I have Hampton ranked 30th. I think I have Kyron ranked 29th. Yeah. So I just have them back to back. My exposure on Jaden Blue is very high. I have Jaden Blue on 19.5% of my fantasy football teams on Underdog Fantasy. Dude, it's get your guys time. I'm really working on my Pete voice. Actually, let me double check our chat here. Yes, 1 p.m. Central Time. It's so lit, dude. It's so lit. Jaden Blue on track to play this week. That's good because a bone bruise for Mr. Blue is not great. Wow, Bonix goes at 87. So this is just one of these drafts. This is one of these drafts where quarterbacks are going to be going all over the place. So honestly, maybe a good one to take Justin Fields and just get one quarterback out of the way and not have to sweat it. Why do I like Keaton Mitchell late? Because Keaton Mitchell is the handcuff for Derrick Henry, and that seems like a good position to be in. I am not going to take naked Kyler. We're doing Rashid Shaheed. I'll take Shuck if I have to. And I'm about to take Tyler. Well, no. Don't do it. We still have Kaleb live. We still have Geno live. We'll take Andrews. All right, so Jamar Chase, Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, DJ Moore, Trevion Henderson, Deebo Samuel, Jacoby Myers, Rashid Shaheed, and Mark Andrews. Are you taking Fields unstacked now? Not taking Taylor? I moved Taylor back into my rankings. I couldn't, I mean, frankly, I could not believe that he was back at practice. I was happy to see him back at practice, but it seemed unbelievable to me. A high ankle sprain? I think this is so false, man. Greg Roman, or Gus Edwards was a Greg Roman guy. So let's earmark round 18 Shuck. One of these picks needs to be Geno. One of these picks, and I might not even get a chance to do it, might need to be Drake May. I honestly would really beg to differ about Keaton Mitchell not getting a workhorse role. So Keaton Mitchell last year came back from his torn ACL, and immediately supplanted Rasheen Ali. Justice Hill's career high in rushing yards is 60. Keaton Mitchell generated 138 rushing yards in his first NFL game. Now, this was back in 2023 when the starting running back for the team was Gus Edwards. I don't know, man. I feel pretty good about Keaton. Well, yes, it does say a lot about Rasheen Ali, but that is currently who the team is. Those are the teammates on the team, brother. What running back are you? Yes, of course, when a running back gets injured, a team brings in another one. Although I think they have a practice squad guy. What running back for the Baltimore would the Ravens sign that you think that they would play over Keaton Mitchell in terms of giving him like 12 rushes a game? By the way, I just picked a scab and now I have blood on this white shirt that I love, which I'm just really annoyed by. It's not, dude. Gus Edwards is not on an NFL roster. Maybe it is a Kareem Hunt situation. God, imagine it's Zeke. Gritty victory lapping Najee practicing yesterday. That is insanely good content. Shout out to Gritty, man. He has a lot of fun playing fantasy football, and that's really what it's all about, isn't it? Isn't it all about having fun? I did not draft any Keaton Mitchell last year because I never frickin' Kaleb Williams goes. Gosh darn it. Oh man, it's so over. This team needs some help. All right, it got a little bit of help here because we were able to take Tucker Kraft and we were able to take Jordan Love. So there we go. All right, that worked out. Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, Trevion Henderson, Jamar Chase, DJ Moore, Deebo Samuel, Jacoby Myers, Rashid Shaheed, Mark Andrews, Tucker Kraft. Dude, Shuck Demon. How much Shaheed do I have? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out how much Rashid Shaheed Davis Maddock is drafted. Is he being serious? Or is he just making a point? Rashid Shaheed, $1,406. I have drafted Rashid Shaheed on 15% of my fantasy football teams on Underdog. Oh no, do I have a lot of week 8 buys? Got Myers week 8 bye. Kyron week 8 bye. That's fine. I'm not a bye week, bro. I don't have any ability to control that. My favorite last round picks: Woody Marks, Sean Tucker, Taj Brooks, DJ Giddens, Will Shipley, Brashard Smith, Blake Corum, Jarquez Hunter, Ollie Gordon, I like. Jordan James, I like. Kavonte Turpin, Curtis Samuel, Noah Brown, Io Manor, Keandre Lambert-Smith. What if it's not the worst situation in the NFL? What if the offensive line is kind of fine? And what if Tyler Shuck is just like kind of fine? And what if Kellen Moore is a good play caller? What if, bro? Shuck looked okay. I would not say that Tyler Shuck blew the doors off the situation in his debut. But I thought he looked all right. Josh Norris sent a tweet that I will read about Tyler Shuck that I thought for someone like me who doesn't really know ball, it was at least sort of interesting. Which was he just detailed all his throws. So here we go. Here's the Jay Norris tweet about the Shuck Demon. Tyler Shuck's debut, underneath, miss sluggo, underneath, pick six on a second level outbreaker, underneath, double move TD, underneath, sack. Which underneath stuff, if you're throwing to Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave, might be okay. I don't know, man. I don't know who the Saints offensive coordinator is, but I know that first off, let's do Geno. And let's do Jaden Blue. I know that Kellen Moore is the head coach, and I think Kellen Moore is a good play caller. Thoughts on having 25% Gibbs? It's just so funny because this is now the this is like the majority position. Like this is like Gretsch has this out there. Silva has this out there. I think Karain has this out. Like everyone's like, dude, Gibbs is the 101. Gibbs is the 101, bro. So I think it's fine to have 25% of Jahmyr Gibbs. A lot of smart people agree that he's a very good pick. I was going to say he is. Gibbs is the ultimate, like in terms of being a centrist slappy, he's all the way at the top. Well, I would imagine that there is going to be no tank for Arch because Arch is staying at Texas. Been confirmed by his entire family. So here is the Manning family stating Archie Manning predicts grandson Arch will not declare for the 2026 NFL draft. Arch isn't going to do that. He'll be at Texas. So I would guess that the agent and everyone has decided that Arch will be staying at the University of Texas. The Saints offensive coordinator is Nussmeier, Garrett Nussmeier's dad. They're tanking for that kid. Shuck is just, well, I mean, I think that is totally fine. I don't know, man. What do any of us know? Let me tell you guys something that is real important to understand about professional organized football. Organizations might tank, but teams do not tank. Those guys are out there like NFL players are not tanking, bro. And the Saints roster is like whatever, man. They can win 5 games. I mean, they probably won't. But I am choosing to not be scared. Me personally, I'm not scared. I'm going to keep drafting Rashid Shaheed, the wide receiver 2 on the worst team in the NFL. Well, you could use the second round pick on a bridge quarterback because it might work. And then you have you've sped up the situation. I'm taking actually no, let's do Algier on this one. The Bajan handcuff. Is there a quarterback that makes any more sense here? Stafford and Kyron. You know what? Let's do Rodgers. Let's just do Rodgers, and we'll do Roman Wilson in the final round. We'll do Rodgers as the third quarterback. A little bit of a stabilizing influence there. I don't think Shaheed is behind Brandon Cooks. Why is Torrey Horton going in the 14th? People love a good rookie. I don't. How am I supposed to know the answer to this question? I don't think they said they loved Shaheed. I just think Shaheed is good. If I had to pick my 3 guys, I guess it would be Byshell Tootin, Xavier Worthy. Byshell Tootin, Xavier Worthy. Can I put David Njoku on that list? Honestly, I think I would. Rodgers, not exactly known as a stabilizing figure in a QB room, minus team chemistry. Yeah, fair. Honestly, it's just like really what it is a lot of my Shaheed teams have Tyler Shuck on them, and I would like to not do that. I would like to divorce some of my Shaheed from my Shuck. Shaheed is the Jacoby Myers of Xavier Worthy's. Honestly, spot on. Got Worthy in the 6th of my home league last night. Might put a down payment on a new car. You love to see it. Running good or bad, getting the number 1 pick 3 times through 111 drafts. Depends on how many fantasy points Jamar Chase scores in week 17. You might be getting gifted generational wealth. Dude, I can't divorce myself from Shuck. We both have golden retrievers named Murphy. Jordan Love literally wrote a whole article with praise for Rodgers. LOL. Narrative of him being a bad teammate is so worn. Then why I think you this sounds a little biased, bro. Gonna be honest. Not loving this context. Might take Roman Wilson on this team, actually. We'll do Slayton as a bring back here. And you know what? This is actually a really good De'Ami Brown team. Well, whatever. I'll just take Dante Thornton. I don't love it, but whatever. I guess we're stacking it up. Dude, I'm drafting fantasy football right now. Then you're not behind, Nez. Yes, Dominic, I'm in on drafters. I will be maxing the main event on drafters.com. Let me return to this. Aaron Rodgers literally chased my friend out of the NFL. I'll tell you right now that quote unquote believing the NFL's players that play with him is biased. How about this? My friend Jeff Janis bailed Aaron Rodgers' ass out in a playoff game against the Arizona Cardinals. He had 101 receiving yards in a drive that Aaron Rodgers played terrible. Rodgers put an awful throw on Janis in the end zone. Janis made an insane adjustment to the ball, bailed Aaron's ass out. How did Aaron Rodgers repay my friend Jeff? How do you think he repaid him? He said, get off my team. I want Jake Kumaro. Do you think that's being a good teammate? Because Jake Kumaro was buddies with Aaron Rodgers off the field. Does that sound like being a good teammate to you? Oh, I sound biased? Okay. Sure, I'm biased, bro. Yeah, because Kumaro and Rodgers were buddies off the field. Kumaro should be on Green Bay, totally. Totally. Yeah. No. Aaron Rodgers definitely a good teammate. Good job rewarding your friend. Good job rewarding your teammate who bailed your ass out against Arizona. No one serious thinks that Aaron Rodgers is a good teammate. Okay, obviously I am biased, but I just refuse to believe that there's anyone serious at this point who's like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a good dude. Come on. I need you all to be serious, bro. If I'm going to be serious, you guys got to be serious. Well, I took him because he's a good pick on this team. Rodgers is going to, he's probably going to start 17 games. The other thing about Aaron Rodgers is we would probably be good friends too, because we're like, Rodgers is into like a lot of the weird like health shit that I am too. Do I take another one? No, I need a running back. This could a potential Ollie Gordon team here. Maybe a Taj Brooks team. Yeah, let's do a Taj Brooks. Yes, Jeff Janis is a good dude. Thank you. There you go. Jeff Janis owns a tire shop in my hometown. My pops grew up with all the Janis brothers. Good dude. I actually, you know what? I do drink the lemon and cayenne water. All right, final team here. Jordan Love, Geno Smith, and famous good teammate Aaron Rodgers. Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, Trevion Henderson, Jaden Blue, Tyler Algier, Taj Brooks, Jamar Chase, DJ Moore, Deebo Samuel. Value on Deebo there. Rashid Shaheed, Darius Slayton, Dante Thornton, Mark Andrews, and Tucker Kraft. Bang. Let's go. One more. My real answer to this, by the way, is that actually I think Aaron is like probably a fine guy, but it has always rubbed me the wrong way how he treated Jeff Janis, truly. My boy David Russell says that we would not be friends. Fair enough. Thoughts on Jaden Higgins? I really like to draft Jaden Higgins. Honestly, Aaron Rodgers is right about the headphones. I shouldn't use Bluetooth headphones. That to me, that doesn't even seem like a conspiracy theory. It's just like probably bad to have small waves blurred through your brain. Which three quarterbacks would be the best to hang out with? For me, I mean, Mahomes, obviously number one. Jahmyr Gibbs, dude, we got him. I think Mahomes is obviously number one. Drake May seems like he'd be pretty high up there. Josh Allen seems like he'd be really high. Josh Allen seems like, yes, obviously I know that's not how it works, but it just, come on, man. There is something a little unnatural about having Bluetooth in your head. Come on, I can't be the only one that thinks this. It's a little unnatural. Well, what is natural at the end of the day? I mean, I would guess that this is probably true just because Aaron Rodgers has had time in his life to make a bunch of money. I bet Aaron Rodgers has done a lot of great things in his life, right? Okay. All right. We're too far. We're too far now if we're measuring waves. Yeah, also, I mean, I guess the wired buds are going to be doing some weird stuff to you too. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything bad. I have Bluetooth headphones in right now, but it's just every once in a while you think about you do think about how much technology and like new things we are doing to the human body that has not existed to the human body for the vast majority of time that we've been alive. And you're just like, I don't know, man. Wow. Look at this, dude. Freaking Gibbs Bowers. Press the button, brother. Gibbs Bowers. I think we could just press the plane, right? Yeah, we have a pending shipper here. We need to lock in. What are you talking about? Can't be drafting Bowers that high. This is a gift. We just got gifted Brock Bowers here. Oh man, I don't really want to take Tyreek Hill on this team. Oh, this really is a don't drop the baby situation. Oh man, what do I do? You know what? I'm not going to. I'm too concerned. Man. I guess that was a foxhole situation there. I just had my truth revealed to me, and the truth revealed to me was that I did not want Tyreek here. No, okay. If you guys hear me out. Lamar there. Hear me out on Lamar. We are really far behind in the flex if we take Lamar there. I probably should have taken Tyreek. I'm balancing my range because Kyren Williams has the exact opposite aura of Gibbs and Bowers. I threw the baby on the ground. Yes, honestly, it is a conscious decision to care a little bit less about the week 17 bringbacks. I still want to be team level stacking at a high degree. I'd be curious, Shady and Sacrilegious's thoughts on this as it pertains to the weeks to the sim stuffs. But just for DFS purposes, I have noticed that in running sim stuff for smaller field DFS that the bring back stuff there has been a little bit less important. I don't know. I think you guys are all also underestimating Kyren a little bit. Gotta say, that might be your most disgusting pick all year. I think you guys are off base on Kyren a smidgen. And by the way, I'm about to get oh, come on, dude. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Do not take George Pickens. Don't do it. You don't need him. He's not important. Yes, bang. Okay. And I'm safe. That right there. Touchdown. George Pickens, baby. Let's go. You are not saying gross to George Pickens. I like Kyron and would have smashed Lamar there. All right. Everyone settle down. I mean, Kyron is like not even that good of a player, but he is definitely one of the last few bell cows. And look at this ceiling I'm about to add. Bang, Rashee Rice. Okay, so we're going to take 8 wide receivers on this team. Oh, you guys said I dropped the baby. The baby is alive. The baby is well and good right now. I'm about to take so many wide receivers on this team. I mean, Kyron rose because he signed the contract, really, is it? The bye week bros they're seething. Someone called CPS. Chill out, everyone. We're doing great. This is a great team. No children have been harmed in the filming of this best ball video. Eight wide receivers, brother. You need 14 for this one. If he gets 4 games, then your wide receivers can cover his suspension by week. No, it starts to week 5. True. The baby is left alone. I don't know. Can someone smarter than me really weigh in on the bye weeks? Because my opinion is they just do not matter. Like they matter to like some degree. Like you need to be able to field a roster. Feels like a reach for everyone drafting Hampton over the other running backs in that range. Well, Roman is lying. Rice is. I would just be so surprised if he got 8 games. I would be stunned. I've been wrong about a lot of things, but man, I would be real surprised if Rice got 8 games. Frickin' Flowers got to 6-2. This guy, Bradley Maddox, who is a channel member, is cooking over here. Puka, Genty, James Cook, Worthy, Kamara, Flowers. The last time I shaved my mustache to 0 was years ago. The last time I trimmed it was like 9 days ago, I think. Bang. Actually, I'm going to take Golden here because Jennings might come back around to me depending on the context of this room. Honestly, my opinion is no. I do not think that every team drafted with Rice before round 3 is dead. I think Rice is going to score like 16.5, 15.5 points per game. Well, I was wrong because he immediately went right after. Golden wasn't going to get back to me either. All that matters is that one of Jacoby Myers or Jerry Jeudy gets to me. If that does not happen, we are in danger. So we need one of these picks to be a running back, a quarterback. Okay, there you go, Shakir. So it doesn't matter. Gosh. I mean, look, you never want Jerry Jeudy to be your bailout pick. But Jerry Jeudy is totally fine as the wide receiver 4 here. At 10K, yes. You guys give me the 10,000 subs by the time the season starts. I will get a mullet. No, Liam is at chess school today. So we are not doing the stream today because I'm doing the randomizer with Pete at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. All right. So we have Jahmyr Gibbs at 1.4. We got Bowers at 21. I took Kyron over Tyreek at 28. George Pickens, Rashee Rice, Matthew Golden, Jerry Jeudy. Yeah. Yes, I would. TCD. I would do a lot to get to 10,000 subs. Mahomes goes unstacked, uncorrelated at 82. The baby wasn't dropped, but it now speaks kindly and holds a knife. Well, I wanted to max the Eliminator Mile High Jabroni, but it just might not be possible now. I'm running out of time. I've been drafting like 10 fast eliminators at a time. How full is it right now? How full is the eliminator right now? Bet Bash is at 12 Central. Gosh, 90%. Should I go enter some slows? I mean, at this point, what is more slows at this point? We're gonna take Jaden Higgins. We need the wide receiver more than we need. We made our bet at running back. Well, I can't. The thing is it's gonna fill. It's gonna fill before I have the opportunity to do 2 weeks of the fast eliminators. Where do you get your ideas, Clay? Yeah, that's what I need. You know what I need, Charlie? I need some more freaking slow drafts in my life. I'm not in enough. I'm not in enough. Yeah, Higgins there hit me. Slows are going to 4 hours soon. Like sooner than you think. Like maybe next week. Honestly, you know what? At this point, it's like, what's the freaking difference? You're making a good point. All right. You know what? I'll do it. I'm going to do some more. I'm going to enter some more slows because I want more Elim teams. Dobbins or ETN? Dobbins or ETN? I guess we're going Dobbins. Drafts, NFL. It's how full? 86%. I'll do 17 more slows. Oh, error locate. 17 more slows. I know you know where I am, underdog. There we go. Oh, goodness. Just no way am I gonna regret that decision. If we were to have a contest where we drafted best ball creators and you got points based on how much money you earned, well, I'd take Herzig first. I already have rankings in for the Elim. Well, they do on Underdog. They at least give you a 10-hour clocks overnight, so it doesn't do anything. Okay. So we have Dak already went. So we have Love live. We have, you know what? Goff and Gibbs I actually quite like as a combination. Oh shit! There you go. I'm gonna do Goff and Gibbs. I actually like that combination. Hot take. So shout out to Underdog for that. I would have entered 17 fast and had dead. Well, okay, true. Yeah, Shady is the GOAT enterer. Just here to see what the consensus is thinking. Man, I don't know. Secular Drift, you think I'm the consensus? I don't know. I probably am. Have I really dropped the ball if a lot of my teams only have like one or two players stacked with a quarterback? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, you want to have a little bit of stacking, obviously. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna take Love. I don't see another obvious pick that's better than Love here. I can do Dubs, backstack. I don't really want to take Ramondre. Yeah, I'm gonna do Jordan Love. Jordan Love and Golden. I think Shady is a best ball content creator. He does videos on Leg Up. He was on the stream here last Monday. I think he counts. All right. We are now at Jared Goff, Jordan Love, so a little bit of a divisional stack there. Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron Williams, J.K. Dobbins, George Pickens, Rashee Rice, Matthew Golden, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Higgins, Brock Bowers. I don't think there were any meaningful wide receivers that we passed up there. I don't Love really shouldn't be falling. It's his left thumb. It's not his right hand. It's not his throwing hand. It's his left thumb. Started Gibbs, Bowers, Allen like you did while watching yesterday's stream and drafted a shipper. Shout out to you. Oh man. Where did I pass? Oh, I did pass on Keenan. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Yep, Mean Muggin, you're right. I'm wrong. Passing up on Keenan was bad. Shoulda taken him there. Dang it. That sucks. Keenan really would have fit this team. That happens, man. It happens. It's not every pick is going to be perfect. Because I had Stroud at this next pick. And I have Geno in the back pocket. Now, Douglas honestly makes sense on this team. Williams makes sense on this team. Palmer makes sense on this team. Honestly, Hollywood might be okay on this team. Romeo Dubs, man. Romeo Dubs is a freaking slap. Jaden Blue and Dylan Sampson make sense on this team. Yeah, I'm going to do... Actually, let's take Douglas. Let's take Douglas, and then... Because there were two running backs there that I liked. Wow. Secular Drifts is in your guys' head. All of the consensus says they are free thinkers, which makes them the consensus. And I'm just chilling, seeing what y'all think. Secular Drift is in your guys' head, bro. Wow. Shady advice in World of Warcraft content. How about it, bro? I would give anything. It's so funny how whatever you're doing right now, the grass is always greener on the other side. Being a football manager streamer sounds like the literal greatest job on earth to me right now. Dang it. Braylon Allen was the one I wanted. Oh, tilting. All right. I'm going to do Algier. Because I already ate my vegetables at wide receiver with DeMario Douglas. Algier, this team needs a little bit of juice at running back there. I don't know. Would you guys have taken Romeo Dubs there? I have an 18th round pick. I have an 18th round pick earmarked. I'll give you guys a hint. The 18th round pick on this team might resemble this fella. This guy or maybe this guy. Wow, that is absolutely freaking creepy. You guys ever seen a real blind seal before? Because this is a real ass blind seal that you guys are seeing. Blind seal learns to hunt. It's not KLS, but since KLS has been mentioned, you want to scroll the F down for Keandre Lambert-Smith.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm about it. I'm about it.
This is too good.
Someone slap the Keandre Lambert-Smith button. The first KLS reception, I was like, wow, he is the greatest wide receiver of all time. Is the 9th round too early for KLS? People are asking.
4.37, 40, played at Auburn. This is Darius Slayton vibes.
My thesis is at least not that he is Jerry Rice's kid. Dude, okay, Greg knew that seal. How about this? Greg knew that seal. That's Lucille from Jenks Aquarium in New Jersey. Rip Lucille. That's crazy, man. I would say try it. Pete Mile High Jabroni. Pete said that if you try it on desktop, it's a little bit easier. I am not taking Geno Smith here. On this team, I'm gonna do Adam Thielen because I need someone to cover for Rashi on this team. I think Thielen is a good fit here. This dude loves Jake Bobo. No, dude, blind seals still know how to hunt. I literally found this article that said science are mystified about this blind seal. So the thing about fantasy receipts is the guy who runs that account is the laziest guy alive. He only does tweets. The guy who runs that fantasy receipts account on X, the Everything app, is just like insanely lazy. And so he never gets audio or videos or anything. He just does tweets because he's so lazy. Which is, frankly, something that I respect. You know what? Chigakonkwo. I like Chig. I just like Chigakonkwo. No, it's honestly, it's to my knowledge, it's not someone that has a different job in the industry. He just is like some loser. Here, he has a YouTube channel. And it's like he hasn't done anything on it. You guys can see his YouTube channel. It's just it's nothing. He hasn't posted anything on it. But he just has like recipes and old school hip hop and gospel music saved on it. It's very funny. But basically the guy is insanely lazy. Honestly, I would guess he probably is too lazy to post a clip. Judy, DeMario, and Thielen is triple condom behavior. Well, I made my you sometimes you need to play safe. All right. The team is Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Algier, George Pickens, Rashee Rice, Matthew Golden, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Higgins, Demario Douglas, Adam Thielen, Brock Bowers, and Chigakonkwo. I gently escorted the baby to the ground. Well, hey. Brother, I have no interest in people clipping my bad takes. Well, I have to live with that on my own. We did used to live in a country where we could get Chigakonkwo in the 18th round. Those times are gone. We will remember them fondly. All right. Final couple picks here. 2, 4, 7, 2. Do I just take Geno? I mean, the sidekick is just absolutely screaming at me. Screaming. There we go. Okay, I don't even have to take Geno now. We'll take Sean Tuckerino. Slurping the Toporino on Sean Tucker. Keaton Mitchell did used to go undrafted. It's over. Of course, I can take Geno. I think wide receiver, smidgen more important. Well, we were probably wrong to hate Ridley last year. No, Bullock, you don't know about the Toporino? The Toporino and the Dipperino, bro? Time for you to learn. All right, I'm taking... Did I win you guys back yet? Do I take 9 wide receivers on this team? I might. Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Algier, Sean Tucker, George Pickens, Rashee Rice, Matthew Golden, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Higgins, Demario Douglas, Adam Thielen, Isaac Tesla, Brock Bowers, and Chig Okonkwo. I don't really care about the difference between Neighbors and BTJ. They're like the same. Who cares? I refuse to believe that there's any possible way to have that strong of an opinion about guys that are that similar at this stage in the offseason. I mean, I don't know. Maybe someone's smarter than me. I don't know. Does a 9th wide receiver really do anything? Tesla has been killing the preseason. I mean, I think I probably slightly prefer 3 quarterbacks. How many of your love teams have Tesla? I have no way of knowing that. Well, there probably is an easy way to know that, but I don't. This dude, I gotta say, I commend this man for his dedication to the bit on Jake Bobo. I really do. All right. A running back, it would be, I guess you don't want Corum with Kyron. Maybe Ollie Gordon, and then wide receiver would be Wicks. All right, you guys tell me, Wicks or Ollie Gordon? Wicks or Ollie Gordon, go. Wicks or Ollie Gordon? Go. Ooh, Coker. I bet Coker's already gone. Nope. All right. Coker, Wicks, or Ollie Gordon? We got neither. Not doing that. Wicks for the bit is probably the right answer. Ollie Oxenfree. Anyone who's saying Watson, I just want you guys to know I'm annoyed with you. Anyone who's saying Ray, I'm extra annoyed with you. Charlie, who I know is a good winning best ball player, says Coker. No team looks that much better with Romeo Dubs. A lot of Coker votes. A lot of Coker. Oh, KLS goes to likely winning. AD Mitchell goes. All right. Coker votes take it. Someone took Ollie Gordon. Jalen Coker. Coker and Thielen, dude. All right. A 2-5-9-2 with Jared Goff and Jordan Love, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Algier, and Sean Tucker, George Pickens, Rashee Rice, Matthew Golden, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Higgins, Demario Douglas, Adam Thielen, Isaac Tesla, Jalen Coker, Brock Bowers, and Chig Okonkwo. There you go, boys. We will do, you know what? How many likes does this stream have? How many likes? 108 likes. There are 432 people watching. If you guys get this to 200 likes by the time I get back from going to go get another cup of coffee, I'll do one more stream. 200 likes, and I'll do one more. So it's completely up to you guys. You determine. You might be a slappy. Well, you might be a slappy if you cite Travion Henderson as a reason to not take the big dog. If you've ever drafted Genty and Hampton as your running back 1 and your running back 2, you might be a slappy. If you've ever drafted Jalen Warren and Miles Sanders together, you might be a slappy. If you have even conceived of the thought, the Fannin bet, you might be a slappy. Yeehaw! What do we think? Yes, sir. Oh yeah, I do a lot of drafters. I will be maxing on drafters. How many likes are we at? 200 likes equals one more draft. How many are we at? I'm gonna bet you guys don't have any because you're all losers. 180. You're pretty close. What is a slappy, Davis? We're going to have too many rookies. All our quarterbacks are going to be guys who could be benched at any given moment. All our wide receivers are going to be useless. We're going to have more handcuff running backs than starting running backs. If you look around the draft pod and don't see the slappy, you are the slappy. Stop caring about the projected scores and draft the shiny object. Also, it might just mean nothing. You guys are pretty close. You know what? 194. I'll give it to you. 36 best ball manias yet. Go try and win Pete's Bash stream, then do the randomizer right after his opposite character. Wow, gifted with a 101. So Underdog did really want me to do this. So got to do a different team than I did the last time. Whatever I did last time, I got to do something different. I am running hot. I'm not doing Gibbs 101. You only get so many opportunities to select Jamar Chase. You get multiple opportunities. Are the Gibbs 101 slaps actually taking him 101? That's a question I have. If you guys have Gibbs 101? Well, the 101 sucks when you're picking at the turn, but it's awesome when you're picking Chase. All right. There you go. Chase at 3, or Gibbs at 3, rather. Performative 101 rankers. I really do my best to attempt to draft as intended, as my rankings are. Oh yeah, by the way, reminder to sign up for the Slappy Survivor. Link in the description over at Splash Sports. $25 to enter. Make sure you guys are hopping in over there. Yeah, after pick 19 or 20, it just gets disgusting. Wow, Nick is a CMC truther, man. Shout out to him. I think I agree. I mean, honestly, Time to do the Chase, Marvin Harrison Jr., McBride, Murray. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me. I don't love taking Kyler Murray, and he even attended the University of Oklahoma. I do not love it though. BTJ Henry at the turn. So this one went normal. By the way, I think this. I'm pretty certain that user AE Jones is in fact, basically one of the biggest DFS players of all time. AE Jones. So shout out to the DFS Sharks coming into the streets. How much Kyler do I have? That's a good, honestly, I don't know. Drafts completed, but no, that's pre-draft. Completed 138 teams. I have Kyler on 8.6% of them. Yeah, Kyler, you nab Kyler when you don't get Burrow. It's totally fine. And you can take Michael Wilson if you want later. You can take Trey Benson later. I'm not in the business of predicting injuries, but I do like drafting the greatest fantasy player of all time. Correct. All right, Chase Brown goes. I would like to get T and a running back here, but I think Urinal Pube might take him from me. I just get that vibe. Okay, he takes Jacobs, so I'm gonna select T Higgins, and I'm also gonna select Amari and Hampton. Davis, why did you take Amari and Hampton there? Basically, the reason why I take Amari and Hampton there is I don't love being forced to take 0 running back teams or hero running back teams. Brett has maxed Best Ball Mania, FFPC, and side contests. Like I said, from this point on, I will be basically coin flipping between Amari and Hampton and Kyron Williams in between given drafts. How many eliminators are you at? Let's see. Now I have 40 eliminators remaining, Michael. The contest is 86.8% full, and I have 40 left to draft. So hopefully I get close. What does the Davis-Liam argument on James Cook look like? I say, I'm not crazy about James Cook because I don't think he is locked into goal line work. I don't think he's locked into passing down work, and I don't think the Bills will use him as a full-time player. And Liam will say, well, Davis, you might be wrong about that. James Cook has been a pretty efficient player, and I think that you're just chasing fantasy groupthink on James Cook. And I'll say, yeah, that could be fair, but I think I'm pretty comfortable with where I have James Cook ranked. And Liam will say, yeah, but you're wrong. And that is basically the Davis-Liam argument on James Cook. Positive of maxing Best Ball Mania early, I have 20% Anthony Richardson because he went in the 18th. Negative, I have 20% Anthony Richardson. Many such cases. Who is gonna protect the contest integrity for me here? Are any of these teams? That's what I need. I need to look and see if any of these teams are auto drafting, because an auto drafter, nothing worse. I mean, not. It is basically impossible to get Joe Burrow in a room where there's even one auto drafter, which actually is kind of a real downside of trying to push Joe Burrow to the 6-7. is that if you are ever in a room where there is someone who's pressing the plane or not there or, whatever. 12 hole feels live to be the Burrow sniper. Yeah. It's true. We never corrected Burrow's ADP before the normies came in. It's true. It's like getting shot. Man, you guys know how often I want to play the Mini-Men clip and then they're just, you can't do it because YouTube will instantly demonetize you. It's so frustrating. I made that Ricky Pearsall video before. Like I did that 5 players I'm drafting a ton and was unable to do the Mini-Men, and I wanted to so bad. I almost thought about just letting the video get demonetized with the Mini-Men. All right. I actually probably will take Trevion Henderson here. I'm not going to take Rashee Rice on this one, though. All right, here we go. Trevion Henderson. Amari Hampton and Trevion Henderson, dude. Where do you get your slap-ass ideas? I'm actually going to take Calvin Ridley on this one as well, instead of Travis Hunter or Jalen Waddle. Just honestly, just because. Yeah, you missed it, brother. There was a $1, there was a $1 101 entry max contest about 2 weeks ago. DraftKings has a $1 contest. Drafters has a $1 contest too. Oh no, dude, I keep angering the week 10 bros. I think the eliminator is 87% filled because everyone realized it's about to fill soon. And also, I think a lot of people were waiting to enter the eliminator until the season was getting closer and they had a greater sense of injuries. They had a greater sense of who's going to make the roster. It does make sense in particular to draft the eliminator closer to the season so you have a better idea of roles, because the start of the season obviously matters some in Best Ball Mania and in the puppy and stuff, but it matters a lot more in the eliminator, where if you do not have a good week 1 score, a week 2 score, a week 3 score, it's over. Yes, Drafters promo code is live. Promo code Davis will get you a nice little sign up bonus there. There is a link to that in the description. You just click on that. You can pop right in. Are you doing any of the DraftKings Best Ball King of the Desert qualifier? No, I'm not. No. On DraftKings, all I am doing is the DraftKings Millionaire Maker. So the $20 to enter $2 million to first place is the only contest that I'm doing. Yes, also people did jam in a ton of slows on August 5th, 6th, and 7th when people were estimating that was the last time to get in without the sped up clocks affecting drafts. Boy, am I not looking forward to the sped up clocks, brother. Let me tell you. No, my dad's name is not David. I actually don't think there are any Davids in my family, come to think of it. All right. I mean, knock on wood, but we are still drawing live. We have to get Joe Burrow past the Chase Brown drafter. I think this guy, oh man, I was about to say, I thought this guy just auto-picked him. All right, so the Hurts team is here. So Big Sweat next with Chase Brown. And then Urinal Pube, a no badge bro. I think it's gonna happen. I have a feeling. I was gonna say I have a feeling he's not getting past. There you go. He goes. Chris took him. Noted friend of the channel, Chris snapped him off there. So I'm gonna take Tony Pollard and I'm going to take Jacoby Myers, and I'm going to tuck my tail in between my legs and accept it. Now, I think there is a chance that Chris is auto drafting, which is brutal. Wow, in the 12 hole again. There you go. Chris snaps me off. How much Burrow do you have? If you're pushing him 100% of the time, I doubt it's more than 2%. Let's go do a check. I have Joe Burrow on 2.8% of my teams, $287 worth of teams. I mean, Joe Burrow, frankly, is not a that feels fine. Okay. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Amarian Hampton, Trevion Henderson, Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard, Jacoby Myers. Now, when this happens to you, when you have Jamar Chase and you have T. Higgins and you don't get Joe Burrow, the move is, in my opinion, to do 3 quarterbacks. And you do 3 quarterbacks because obviously that gives you, 33% more of a chance than if you had 2 to get a winning quarterback score in week 17. If I think that tracks. I would actually be very curious to see what Sacrilegious or Shady thought about that. But it's the Pat Kerrane theory to some degree, which is you never know when Daniel Jones is going to be the guy you need. I can get my 32 points from Jamar Chase and I get my 28 points from whoever, Cam Ward or Geno Smith. And then 33% is not the right number. Classic Davis math there. Now I got to start thinking about who those quarterbacks are going to be because Kyler Murray just went there to B-Spurf, who absolutely is pissing with Nico, London, Marvin Harrison Jr., JSN, Metcalf, and Golden all in a row. Honestly, maybe like a Bo Nix team, maybe a Justin Fields team. What's funny is I literally do not like Jacoby Myers. It just whatever it is, it's just happened today. Jacoby Myers 4.9%. I literally do not like Jacoby Myers. Just sometimes it happens. Do you think it would have been viable to take Kyler unstacked in the 7th round? No. Kyler Murray unstacked at 73 is dust. I don't even, was Jacoby Myers even getting drafted last year? I honestly do not even remember. Yeah, no, I'm not taking May here either. I'm not sacrificing the team build for the stack. I'm about to do something. Oh, come on, dude. Don't do it, urinal pube. Take someone shitty, urinal pube. Come on, dude. Come on. Yes. Oh, let's go. Mahomes and double checking the buys. Kelsey. Bang. Let's go. Taylor Swift came on the New Heights podcast today, and you guys are letting Travis Kelce go to 97. Let's go, dude. That is a double value hound right there. Oh, dude, you got bailed out. Yes, famously, the greatest quarterback of your lifetime sucks for fantasy. Can't take Pat Mahomes at 96. You can take Xavier Worthy at 37, but you can't take Mahomes. Come on, man. Grow up. Can't take 3-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time MVP winner, Pat Mahomes. Yeah, Nick, learn ball. Learn ball. Cute profile picture, Nick. Cute profile picture. I take Besh in the 18th. I was checking the buy because I thought I already had a tight end. Yes, I do recommend the flock contest. Those are some of my favorite contests on Underdog. Yeah, dude, who needs week 10? Structure advice in the Eliminator. Got Mayfield, Evans, and Igbuka. I probably wouldn't want that many guys on the same team. Come up for air, Nick. Nick does need to come up for air. We need to grow up, and we need a come up for air bit. The guy who lost to the 40-year-old twice. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy when Mahomes is winning Super Bowls at 52 because he got on the good drugs. Mahomes is going to be tossing touchdowns to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's kid 27 years from now for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes isn't the GOAT yet. Mahomes isn't the GOAT yet, Nick. You just wait. You just wait, Nicholas. All right, now the week 10 buys are starting to be a bit of a problem. I wouldn't admit this normally, but the week 10 buys actually are a bit of a problem because I probably am gonna have to take 3 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends. I don't know, man. I actually don't know how I'm gonna save this one. Nope. You know what? Wise words. No one ever won anything in week 10. Have a clip like the wide receiver avalanche clips, but in this one, someone is diving for a ring, and it's just names like Keandre Lambert-Smith, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, and then you get to Cam Miller as the screen blacks out. Someone give Kevin Woodard, one of the two. Someone give him a trophy. Okay. I don't really need it. All right, we are gonna do the Mims bring back. We are gonna do the Mims bring back. And let's do yeah, whatever. Let's take Tank Bigsby. Oh, could have taken Tootin. Whatever, it's fine. I don't think any 3rd round plus rookie last year got the same hype as KLS. You might just be self-selecting based on YouTube channel. Herbert who? You wanted me to take Justin Herbert there, bro? Brother. Wow, Secular Drift was inside my head. He knew I was going to take Tank Bigsby. All right, so now our running backs are Hampton, Henderson, Pollard, Bigsby. That is a pretty freaking slappy running back room. Chase, Higgins, Ridley, Myers, Mims, Kelsey, and Mahomes. This is going to end up being a Jalen Royals team. True, the guy, yes, Secular Drifts, you said you were just observing. Now you're psyoping us, bro. Come on, bro. Thought we were cool, man. I thought you were just trying to see what the consensus was saying. Man, how am I going to save these bye weeks? No, you guys are in my head with the bye weeks now. My biggest tips to break 90 on the golf course. Practice your short game every day. Do a putting drill where you stick a tee in the ground and then you put 6 tees around in a semicircle about 6 feet away, and do a putting drill in which you take 2 golf balls and you try and putt to hit the center tee. You have 2 chances at every 6th divider of the semicircle, and if you miss 2 in a row, you have to go back to the start. Complete that successfully once a day. And play smart when you're on the golf course. If you hit it OB, or if you hit it into the rough on the right, you're behind a tree, get the ball out in the fairway. Take your 7-iron when you're right off the green and hit a bump and run. Don't try and hit like a flop shot into the green or whatever. You do those things. You play intelligently around the greens. You work on your short game, and you do that putting drill I just told you. And you can be someone like me with a truly horrible golf swing. I do not have a good golf swing. It's very poor. And I break 90 a lot of the time because I have done those things. All right, we are up. I don't really want to take Geno Smith here. I think I might have to. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take... When's Bryce Young's bye week? I'm going to take Bryce Young to set up Jatavian Sanders backdoor and Leggett and Thielen. And I'm going to take Braylon Allen at running back. 50 yards in and putter is bad advice, in my opinion. Because at some stage, you also want to be learning the game correctly. Like, I would not advise you to play in such a reductive way that you will not improve your skills. Like, you want to be, even while you're playing safe, trying to break 90, you do want to be adding in things that you will be able to retain with you when you are a better player. Bryce Young feels like a smash because of that one play that he did where he looked like Steph Curry, where he threw the ball to the back of the end zone and then he turned away before the pass was completed. Every time I take Bryce Young and I think about what good could happen for him, that is the clip that I play in my head. Yeah, well, this is not something that I can co-sign because my swing speed is terrible, but yes, obviously increasing swing speed is massive. Bryce Young threw for over 250 yards one time last year. Well, the thing with hitting a 50-yard putt is it can only go one way. when you hit a putt, you at least know the exact direction it can go. When you're hitting a chip shot or a wedge shot or whatever, you can shank it, you can pull it. With a putter, you can't do that, which is why people say to do that. But Angus, if you do the things that I just said and you are competent or athletic at all, you'll be able to break 90 in like absolutely no time. Now breaking 80, I got no tips for you. Can't help you with that because I can't do that because I don't hit the ball far enough. But wow, this guy thinks he's so funny. This guy, he subscribed to the channel. You can tell because he had to wait 5 minutes because I have it set to wait 5 minutes. He thought this was so clever. He thought, you know what I'll do? I'm going to subscribe to this channel and I'm going to say something mean about Patrick Mahomes' wife on the internet. Athleticism and some practice. Yep. Yeah, I would say this is probably good advice. I've shot 85 plenty of times. Not plenty of times, I don't know, probably a handful of times, probably 7 times in my life I've shot 85 or better. And I'm not a good golfer, not a good swing, but I'm a pretty good tactician and I practice a lot. All right. These are the picks that really matter here, by the way. So Cam Ward went. I do need a second tight end pretty badly. Hunter Henry goes. So we are setting up for this to be Jatavian. Wide receiver, obviously. Let's do... You know what? I am just going to take Jatavian Sanders here because I need to lock up the stack. And actually, let's do third quarterback. Let's take Sam Darnold, and I should have a fair amount of options available at 192. Yes, I can hit a 5-iron consistently 160 yards. Any drill you do for chipping or pitching. Yes, Angus. I basically, when I am playing a lot, you know what? Hold on. I'll fix this for you right now. Just watch this YouTube video right here. I just put it in the description. It's Phil Mickelson, The Art of Chipping. But all you need to know, if you want to do a drill, go to the range, put all your weight on your front foot, and put the ball at your big left toe, and get your hands past your pocket. Hit 20 of those. Put all your weight on your back foot. Put your ball at your big right toe. Hit 20 of those. And just see how that feels. Notice how the ball moves. Notice how the difference of your club goes there. Notice what happens when you don't hinge your wrists at all and you're just hitting it with the club. That in and of itself is not necessarily a drill, but that'll give you a much better idea of what is actually happening when you're chipping and pitching, which is a lot of people just go up to the ball. They're 30 yards from their green and they're like, all right, I'm just going to hit the ball or off the green, right? You fly the green, you're 10 feet over and you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to hit the ball. I'm not that far away. What does it matter? I'll just put the ball in between my feet and I just hit it. And, oh, you get mad when you skull it, or you get mad when your ball releases too far, or you get mad when your ball doesn't release at all. Because a lot of people, and this was true for me, I just didn't really understand what was happening when I was chipping and putting. It's funny that this guy says this. I did literally start lifting weights to try and hit the golf ball better. I got real strong. I can squat a lot. I can deadlift a lot. I can bench a lot. My golf swing has not gotten any better. I can't hit the golf ball 1% better now. Can't hit it any further than when I started lifting. I mean, simple process. Just hit the club in the center of the face on the correct swing path and just draft the right players. Don't know why people think this shit is hard. Now, the real question is, did Torrey Horton... Yeah, Torrey Horton win already. Oh, do not start with me, Chad. Don't. No one start with me about the functional exercises right now. All right. Jalen Coker, add to the stack. I'm going to do one more running back because we need a chaperone here with Henderson and Hampton. I think let's do... Honestly, dude, let's do Nick Chubb. This is the funniest comment that anyone's ever said in the history of the Davis Maddock YouTube channel. Maybe not. Maybe this is just recency bias, but man, this is so funny to me. What's going on with my consensus boys, and in some case, consensus gals? Brother, I can do all this stuff. I promise you put me in a gym and you guys will be like, no way is this someone who's drafted 1,000 fantasy football teams. I will put grown men. I'll put grown men to shame in the gym. No, Ron Burgundy. I just ask your mom to do it for me, brother. No, actually, no. Okay, good point here. I'm real slow. Oh yes, Nickelback. Look at this fucking draft was a lot funnier. That was very funny. I'm real slow because I'm just such a wee little guy, dude. I have short legs. Yeah, dude. How about if we loaded the bench bar with bales of hay? Then it's functional. Yeah, honestly, I'm built. It's a good way. I'm built like a battle bot. Not very fast, but I am real strong. I absolutely believe someone who can see lifting in a competitive scope has drafted 1,000 teams. Valid. All right, final pick of the stream, boys. We have generated a 3-6-6-2 with Pat Mahomes, Bryce Young, Sam Darnold, Amari and Hampton, Travion Henderson, Tony Pollard, Tank Bigsby, Braylon Allen, and Nick Chubb. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Calvin Ridley, Jacoby Myers, Marvin Mims, and Jalen Coker. I'm not going to take Jalen Royals because of the Week 10 bye. So the question is, do I add one of these dusty Seahawks wide receivers? Or do I just take like a Jalen Naylor, A.D. Mitchell, Trey Tucker? You know? Nick Chubb is fine, bro. Nick Chubb is a totally fine selection. Like it's not a good pick. You actually would be surprised. A lot of skaters that I know from growing up did turn into gym bros early, did really get into super working out. Check out Neen Williams. Neen Williams, really cool guy. Big skateboarding guy who got super into lifting. I'm not taking Royals. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's take A.D. Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell is a good pick. All right. Pat Mahomes, Bryce Young and Sam Darnold, Amarian Hampton, Trevion Henderson, Tony Pollard, Tank Bigsby, Braylon Allen, Nick Chubb, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Calvin Ridley, Jacoby Myers, Marvin Mims, Jalen Coker, A.D. Mitchell, Travis Kelce, and Jatavian Sanders. The Week 10 buys, whatever. It's fine. My wide receivers in Week 10 are Jacoby Myers, Marvin Mims, Jalen Coker, and A.D. Mitchell. So I'm thinking I'm not going to score a ton of wide receiver points that week. But you never know. You just might. All right, everyone. I'm going to be back with all of you guys in 30 minutes for an all-timer over on the randomizer. I would advise you to not miss that one. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel for a daily fantasy